Right now at 6, a man died in a dirt bike crash in Hartford. But what did the bike crash into, if anything? We'll tell you about some conflicting eyewitness reports.
And people speaking up amid allegations that thousands of tickets were falsified by state police over the course of 10 years. Their message ahead.
Plus, how you can protect yourself from unemployment fraud.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Tim Lammers, coming to you here on CW20 this morning because it's opening day for the 2023 Women's World Cup on Fox 61. So we'll be here with you on this station until 8 o'clock, and then we'll switch back over to Fox 61 once the coverage of soccer ends.
And of course, you can also watch us online at fox61.com and also stream us on Fox 61 Plus. Let's get you over to meteorologist Matt Scott, talk about the weather this morning.
I was feeling lighter this morning when I got up, and that's because I'm 20. I'm not 61 for a couple
There you go,
hours.
yeah.
There you go.
The jokes are old, though.
You can't.
I know, and you can't see the eye
I was
roll
going to say,
for
you
me.
can't see the eye roll.
Yep.
Good morning. It's the pick of the week. We really have a great forecast, so we can laugh about this a little bit. The heat is in, the humidity is on hold. We got storms coming in tomorrow, but a great weekend on tap. I don't know what channel you're watching this on. That's going to be some good stuff. Satellite radar picture is quiet. Watching the visibility, I saw a little bit of low-lying moisture, some fog out there, but it's really, as you can see, more of an exception as opposed to the rule sort of thing. Still watch for it. 67 in Hartford, 69 in New Haven, 70 degrees in Groton, and the humidity, for the most part, behaving. Going to try to work in a little extra moisture later on tonight into tomorrow. If you had your windows open last night, you saved some bucks on the AC. Tonight, it's definitely AC. But once we get through tomorrow, things are looking pretty good. I promise you that. Here's the planner. It's a beaut. Comfy start and just a few clouds in there. No real chance of rain as we get to seasonal temperatures in the mid-80s. We'll talk about that great look at weekend forecast. That's coming up in a few minutes. Whether you're on channel 20 or 61, we've got it all covered here at fox61.com. Symphony's got the traffic on all those platforms and more.
Yeah, good morning to you. Happy Friday Eve. Let's check out how the morning commute is shaping up so far. This crash just came down over in Manchester, so let's go ahead and take the maps full so we can see what we are working with. I-84 eastbound between exits 58 and 59. Right now, the right lane is closed, so there might be a little bit of a slowdown in that area. Otherwise, some weather-related closures due to the flooding that we have seen, some communities have seen in the past few weeks. The Rocky Hill ferry is closed. And over in Portland, Route 17A at the fairgrounds is closed due to flooding, and the Chester ferry is closed. Let's take a live look in Hartford this morning. A beautiful start to the day as folks get up and at it. Drive time's looking good on the major interstates, and along the shoreline, it should be smooth sailing for you out there as we take a live look in Stamford. Traffic volume starting to pick up a little bit, but we are accident free in that part of the state. I'll have another update for you in about 30 minutes.
Symphony, thanks so much. Hartford police are investigating a deadly crash involving a dirt bike. It happened near Windsor and Loomis Streets last night. Fox
61's Brooke Griffin is live at the Hartford Police Department with the details and the questions they're still trying to answer at this point.
Well, Hartford police say this is a pretty tricky crash to try to solve or figure out what happened because they're getting conflicting reports from those different witnesses that may have been there at the scene. Officers tell us that they were called to the scene of the crash around 8:30 last night. They originally thought this was a crash between a dirt bike and possibly another car, but they're still working on those details. Police say they know two men on dirt bikes were riding south on Windsor Street at a high rate of speed. Somewhere around this time, a driver called police to say they saw a body lying on the ground. When police arrived, they say they found the rider of the dirt bike dead. They have not released the name of that victim, but we do know he is from East Hartford. Officers tell us the other dirt bike rider stayed at the scene to answer questions from police, and several businesses in the area do have surveillance cameras. They tell us the next steps are going through that video to try to piece together what exactly happened. But of course, if you did see anything, maybe saw those dirt bike riders around that time last night in the area, they want you to go ahead and give them a call, give them that information to help out with this investigation. They say you can also call Crime Stoppers anonymously. Live in Hartford, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Brooke, thank you. Let's take you now at 6:04 to Hamden, where police said an 18-year-old was hospitalized after being shot yesterday. They said it happened around 4 p.m. at a home on Helen Street. Now, police didn't say who shot the teen, but did say a family member took the victim to a hospital where, at last check yesterday, that teen had stable vital signs. In Hartford, officers responded to a shooting just before 4:30 yesterday afternoon. That was on Maple Avenue. They said they were told that a man in his 20s was taken to a hospital after being shot twice. But there's been no word yet as to what led up to the shooting or who the shooter was. But 4 people have been killed in a 5-day stretch now in Hartford, and some people who live in the city said they want residents to do more to prevent violence. One of those recent victims was 25-year-old Marion Edwards of Windsor. He died in a drive-by shooting Tuesday on Barber Street, right outside of Burger and Pizza Land. Dozens of people were nearby when it happened. Well, one community activist said she just wants to see people stop that violence before it starts.
If you have somebody in your home that's doing drugs and have guns that's illegal, you need to report it to the community. Okay, you need to report it to the police.
Well, another way residents can help is to help police after the fact. They are still looking for leads in that shooting, so please call the Hartford PD if you know anything.
Happening this morning, officials from around the state are going to talk about a recent report from a new program called Moving Justice Forward. It's a collaboration between the Division of Criminal Justice and the Center for Court Innovation. It focuses on improving fairness within Connecticut's justice system by analyzing previous cases and procedures of the state courts. Today's discussion is happening at 10 o'clock at the office of the Chief State's Attorney in Rocky Hill. And this morning, Governor Lamont says an independent firm is going to look into a report claiming that state police may have falsified 25,000 traffic tickets. Last night, the NAACP hosted a community forum to talk about the audit behind that report. It was conducted by the Connecticut Racial Profiling Prohibition Project. The project manager says his team comparing state police data to data from the judicial system. He says researchers found both over and under reporting of traffic stops made by state police from 2014 to 2021.
Based on the analysis, we have a high level of confidence that both false and inaccurate records were submitted to the profiling database, stops where there was a likelihood that they didn't occur, and then the other was stops that did occur but weren't properly reported to the profiling system.
Officials with the Connecticut chapter of the NAACP say they're concerned about the findings.
It's so broad and so pervasive that, and it runs so deep, it's very startling.
Now, the Chief State's Attorney will also investigate this report. Now, after the audit was first released, state police issued a statement saying it is deeply committed to ensuring the integrity of Connecticut's racial profiling data. And it also says it's dedicated to maintaining public confidence in the essential public safety services troopers provide each day. There's a warning for workers and businesses this morning. The Connecticut Department of Labor says there is an uptick in unemployment benefit fraud related to identity theft.
We got Fox 61's Lindsay Kane live outside the Department of Labor building in Wethersfield with more on that. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Well, state officials say Connecticut is now being targeted by criminals who are flooding the state's unemployment system using stolen identities to apply for benefits. Now, the Department of Labor says out of the thousands of claims that they get every single day, 75% of them are fraudulent using stolen identities. Officials say back during the pandemic, you could purchase stolen identities on the dark web for around $1. Now, criminals are still using that site to purchase names, social security numbers, birth dates, and credit card info. The state says if it becomes aware that a fraudulent claim is filed, it takes immediate action to notify an employer that someone has filed for benefits. In many cases, the employers say the employee still works for the company, and it was a case of identity fraud. Workers who are the victims of identity theft are notified by the Department of Labor as well. The state is now asking all employers and workers to stay vigilant. Now, if the Department of Labor does contact you, it's important to respond immediately and also file a police report. Coming up in the next hour, more steps you can take in order to try to protect yourself against identity theft as it is on the rise here in Connecticut. Live in Wethersfield this morning, Lindsay Kane, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
New this morning, someone is waking up $1 billion richer. It happened according to the Powerball website. The winning ticket was sold in California.
Yeah.
Last night's jackpot was the third largest in Powerball history. Those winning numbers are 7, 10, 11, 13, 24, and the Powerball is 24. Check your tickets because another $1 million ticket was sold here in Connecticut. Fox 61 spoke with people on what they would do if they won.
Pay off my mortgage first. I'd like to let my dad retire. That'd be nice. And me and my wife are going to St. Lucia for our honeymoon later this year. It'd be nice to have an even better room down there. So let's start with that and maybe get rid of this Camry.
Remember, the odds of winning the jackpot are 1 in 292 million. You have a better chance of getting hit by lightning or a meteor.
Probably.
And twice, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't that it?
Getting hit by lightning
Twice.
and a meteor at the same time, maybe? Yeah, somewhere.